Hello Airsoft friends, and welcome to this video today, where today I have some products that I'm going to be looking at which are not Novrich products. Oh my god, it's actually happened. I do get often like comments saying like, oh, why don't you look at things that are Novrich products? And the quite simple answer is I would if I could get sent them. Sadly, I don't have enough disposable income to spend my money on lots of random Airsoft stuff which I may or may not be interested in just to make video content on it. I wish that I did, and I wish that I could, but that's just not the reality. And Novrich have been very good to me. They send me lots of stuff, which means I get to let them up some videos on it. And now, actually, other companies seem to have like seen that and have sent me some stuff too. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. So specifically today, we're going to be looking at some stuff from a company called T238, and they've sent me a motor, a tracer unit, and an ETU, or an electric trigger unit. And I'm quite excited to look at all of these things. But before we look into these things, big thank you to all of my patrons. Thank you for supporting the channel month after month. You are all beautiful, wonderful people. And also a big thank you to you for watching this video, and to all my subscribers. And if you're not subscribed to the videos, then hit the big old subscribe button. I appreciate it, and you're probably going to really enjoy them anyway because you're watching this one here right now. So what are we doing today? As you can tell, I have received a few specially little things from T238. Again, thank you very much. There's going to be links in the description below if you want to go check out some of these toy accessories, because YouTube, these are for toys. And you know, the man, human, the lady person reviewing this video, because it's going to be monetized and it's going to go to the review phase. These are all accessories for toys. Please stop killing my YouTube channel content, please, I beg you. I know that I go into this in my videos, but I do feel like I need to add a little comment specifically for the YouTube reviewery people to make sure that hopefully my content doesn't just get like destroyed, because I do spend time making these things and it'd be lovely for people to see them. Anyway, back to these bits here. So I got sent these juicy little kind of like nuggets. These two are kind of like paired together because I'm going to be using the motor here with this ETU. So we're going to move those just to the side for now. And immediately we're going to be focusing on this juicy little ticket, which is called the Daybreak Tracer Unit. Now, I did have a sneaky little gander at this beforehand, and you know what? I must say, so far, I'm actually pretty impressed by it. It looks really, really cool. It is a little bit weighty. It is a little bit weighty, so you probably wouldn't want to just put it straight onto like a pistol or something, but it is a very, very cool tracer unit, and you know, we're going to see why literally right now. So it comes in this packaging here, and I must admit, not a huge fan of the packaging. I didn't think that this was kind of like, you know, fancy at all. The fonts don't really look nice. I don't really just like the style of this. It seems very like white box, have another company come and buy the product and then rebrand it and sell it to you like under that branding. So branding guys, T238, up your game. Come on now, make this feel premium, make this feel cool, because this is 100% a premium product inside. Now you can see it does say it's a tracer unit. It's called the Daybreak, it's called the T238 TDBK01. I imagine that's some kind of like product serial SKU, something like that. Carbon fiber, it does say carbon fiber. Now, when I was opening this up, I was like, is that going to be real carbon fiber, or is that going to be like the Chinesium carbon fiber? And you know what? It's some proper legit stuff. It's actually really pretty epic in there. So we've got the carbon fiber, and then we can also see it's very colory as well. We've got a whole rainbow color gamut on the side there, and you know, there's a lot of pretty colors that you could do with that type of thing, which is nice to see. So we do get a lot of information from the box, but you know, let's get inside and see if it's as premium as I've explained and I've described it. So we've got stickers, we've got an explanation manual, we have got a cable, we have got an Allen key and some bolts, which I'll explain what those are for a little bit later on. We've got two little ringy bits here, which again I'll explain in a little bit what those are for. And here we have the tracer unit itself, and like I said, it is pretty weighty. Do I have a scale on the table nearby? I thought that I did put a scale. I do have a scale on the table here. Look at that, perfect. So we're gonna put the scale there, we'll turn it on, and we'll weigh it immediately so we can see how much it weighs. So it is 199.01 grams. It's a 200 gram tracer unit. You know, that's pretty darn weighty. but there is a lot of functionality you get in this. But safe to say, probably don't want to run this just like on a pistol on its own. You're more going to be running it in like a pistol carbine kit, SMG AR, something like that. So this is the tracer. We do have our full-on carbon fiber on each side there, and that's going to be reducing some of the weight, and you know, that's it's quite good to have that, considering it is quite a weighty unit. So we've got carbon fiber here, nicely machined too, and we also have another sheet of carbon fiber on this side as well. And if we look at the top, it's kind of like, what, 2.5 mil thick? Roughly about 2.5 millimeters thick on each side, maybe up to 3 mil on this side here, which, you know, is nice to have. It's nice to have sexy carbon fiber. Then on the bottom, there's just like a couple of cutouts in what I'm gonna assume is aluminium, and that's gonna be there for saving some weight. We have a USB Type-C port on the front there as well, so we can plug in our power cable to charge this thing up. On the top end, we've got some LED lights there, and that's because we can make it flash different colors. It's not just a tracer unit, it also has got that muzzle flash functionality baked into it as well, which is really cool. And why can't I get this bloody little cat back in the place? There we go. Yeah, it's got that flashing at the end there as well. So if you are going to be using it with a GBB, like a gas blowback pistol or like a gas blowback rifle, like the SSQ-22, then when you get the air come out, the gas come out at the end, this is going to kind of illuminate it, make it look like real muzzle flash, which is quite a cool feature to see. But the main pièce de resistance on this one is on the top here. And if I press this little button here, we will see that we have a screen that turns on, although it's quite poor to see it on the camera because I guess the refresh rate of the camera doesn't line up with it. I've changed the shutter speed of the camera, and now you can actually see the screen a bit more better. So we've got score on the top, which is going to be the overall, like, the FPS, the RPS. So it's going to tell us how fast the BB's traveling, how many per second. Our battery indicator at the top there. It's going to tell us our joules as well. And then you can go, like, you've got side-to-side menus here. So this little menu bit is the record. So this is all the historic shots that you're going to have on there if you have done your shooting. And this bit here, we can actually change what settings we've got. So first of all, we've got the chrono can be on or off. The tracer unit can be on or off, so it will illuminate your BBs as you fire them as well, which is really cool to see. RGB, do you want to have that on? What RGB settings have we got? So we've got rainbow, dynamic, red, yellow, green, cyan, blue, pink, white, and off. And that is the LED color at the end of that, which is really, really sick. Loads of other settings on there. What am I doing? Let me come off. Let's go on rainbow. You can change the BB size, the BB weight, the display, the power as well, so it'll automatically turn off after an amount of time of it not being used. And then you've got units, so you can change it between RPS, between meters per second, feet per second, and then your rate of fire as well is either rounds per second or rounds per minute, but we'll go rounds per second because it's easier to know what's going on there. Also, those other little bits I unboxed here, these are different thread adapters for it. So what you do is you attach these to the thread of your pistol or your rifle or whatever, and then you use these screws to tighten that up so you get it in the exact perfect position instead of it being like weirdly skewed off to the side. You've got the 40mm counterclockwise one. I think you've also got like a 60mm one too, bigger one there as well, so you can like kind of adjust them and make it fit absolutely spot on for whatever gun you want to use it on. Sorry, whatever toy you want to use it on. Then you've got your charging cable, your instruction manual, and then you can put some stickers on as well. So this is the Daybreak tracer unit. Let's turn that off there. The screen is so nice. I know it didn't really kind of like come off that great on the camera there, probably for you. The other bits that we're going to be looking at now as well today are our motor, this brushless motor, and also our ETU. Let me quickly change my camera speed so we can see this a bit nicer. So this T238 motor is actually called the QRBLS 480, and it is a brushless motor, which is, you know, if you know anything about motors, you want brushless. They run more efficiently, so your batteries last longer. They also get a lot less hotter when you're running them, so you can play airsoft much faster. You can do more BB shots without your grip becoming uncomfortable. High efficiency, low loss, and quick response. So it will respond faster to your trigger press as well to make it, like, especially if you're using pre-cock settings, then you're going to be like pulling the trigger and it's going to fire pretty instantaneously, or you're not really going to notice there being much of a difference. RPM, it's a 3,350 kV motor, which means that it will do 3,350 revolutions per volt, which makes it pretty darn quick. I think that equates to it being either a 45 40K motor in the end, in like the airsoft terms, which means it's, you know, going to be very, very nippy, and I'm very excited for that. So I'm going to put this into an AR build, and second of all, we have got the micro switch here, which pairs perfectly with the motor. So if we slide this open here like that, we've got our trigger unit here. Inside, oh, we get a free patch as well. That's cool. A little accessory bit with some, it looks like there's some Tamiya cables in there. Disgusting. We don't want those. And we've got the ETU here. Look at that. That's pretty snazzy. Ah, and it's a micro switch one as well. So you can see just about there's a little micro switch, and that's what the blade of the trigger touches, and that's what then fires the shot off. So I'll be definitely pairing this with a max CNC trigger, because there's grub screws on those triggers which allow you to set the position of it perfectly, because I like a nice short trigger stroke, not like a feather, not like a feather trigger stroke, a nice small feather, a nice small stroke. And I'm going to use that trigger with this to get that set absolutely perfectly, so it just runs really, really nicely. That's really cool. I mean, when it comes to ETUs, I feel like I am a bit more of a fan of optical triggers, like the Titan, just because it seems quite easy to get that set up absolutely perfectly. But then the micro switch is quite nice as well, because you do get a little bit of like force feedback from it. Like when you go over the switch, you do get that little bit of a click. And I like the sensation of that, because it does feel a little bit more clicky. But then again, I have seen, is it the per run clicker V3 that came out, or maybe it's just the per run clicker, and it's literally something that you can just install into your replica, your like AEG, and it gives you a more realistic trigger pull feel, kind of like on the SSP-18, which is supposed to be well modeled after a real life Glock, where you can get that realistic feeling like trigger pull if you want to go for that. So potentially, I may see if I can get my hands on one of those to pair this with that. But if not, no harm, no foul, because like I said, micro switches often do feel really rather nice too. Look at that. T238 Digital Trigger Unit V2. Oh, baby. One quick thing as well with this is that there's some wires on here which I don't know what they're for, because we've got the wired to Deans straight away for the battery pack, which is great to see, because Deans are just the best connector to use in Airsoft. And then we've got the motor connectors here, so we've got positive and negative, but then we've got these two wires sticking off there for some reason, and I have no idea what they are. Like if I come here on the zoomy in bit, let's see if I can get a nice focus on there. So like, yeah, we've got battery connector, wire connectors, and then we've just got these two little other ones just coming out, and I literally have no idea what they're for. Like the positive is wired into the main positive, but then the negative is coming up here for some reason, and I literally do not know why. So yeah, if you've got any ideas on what that there is for, please do let me know, because when I install this thing, I want to make sure I do it properly, and the instructions don't really seem to tell me what that is or why. So yeah, please do help me. So that is our little sneaky peek look at some T238 products that I've got coming your way. If you want to watch that video, see what the full like breakdown of those is, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing a dedicated video on this tracer unit here. I'll be going back to a special ops Airsoft in Milton Keynes, which is a very cool, very fine and dandy small CQB site that's opened up there, and I'll be using this so I can see all of the people that I hit gloriously, and I'll also be running my Novrich clip cam too to record all of those hits too, so you can enjoy some nice CQB footage from there, because you know what, I'm not really a CQB player, but that Airsoft site makes me enjoy CQB. And if you're near Milton Keynes, maybe I'll see you there at a Wednesday night gameplay sometime. It'll be really good. And of course, I'm going to be doing a full video breakdown where I'm going to be using this motor and this ETU, and we're going to see what we can do with that, how the trigger response is, what it feels like, and a ton of other fun stuff. So until then, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye, ta-ra!